Hey y'all, how you perking? I hope you're perking good. So, the bitch is back. Alrighty y'all. First of all, after the what we should be saying is Snider and Dustin Dailey love reading. That's what we should be saying. That's what we're gonna do in this video. But first, let's go ahead and cover some ground. I had power problems. I had technology problems. I had subfloor water problems. And it took me out for 2 weeks, and I was making videos with my phone in my kitchen and shit like that. And now I am finally back to my filming space. The video that used to be on my face is now on the cards, and I got a new camera for my face. It's much more HD. In fact, it can do 4K. Whether or not it'll upload in 4K is a different story. I don't know. It is what it is. You know, whatever. It's 7:43 p.m. Basically almost 8 o'clock at night over here. I've had a really hard work day. I'm trying to get something out to you. So forgive the face. It's the only one I got. Alrighty, y'all. So let's just get on into this thing. How are y'all? For real. I feel like a new woman up in here. Let's go ahead. I am a mental health clinician, and is that how I say it? I'm a licensed mental health clinician as well as a spiritual intuitive. There we go. Now we're into the swing. Now we're back into it. Rusty. All right. And a spiritual intuitive. And in these videos, we do take a look at the tea using the tarot. These videos are always meant to be helpful, not hateful. So if you're down with that, please join the family here. We would love to have you. Yes, we would. What we're gonna say here, if I can draw your attention down here to these little things here at the bottom of the screen, you're going to see this join button if you want to be a part of the Perk Squad. Perk Squad gets extra perks that other people don't get. But if not, go ahead and just subscribe at the least, at the bare minimum. Hello, and tap that notification bell. That's what it should look like if you want to actually get notifications, but YouTube might not send you any. Sometimes they don't. So keep checking on the page. You might not get notified. I am just excited to be back here in this space, and I'm excited to do this love reading. So, Snider and Dustin Dailey, you may love them, you may hate them, but hey, they're a couple now, and we gotta respect that, regardless of what your feels are on them. I will go ahead and say, you know, I tell y'all and say things honestly that I do like both of them. I have watched their videos for no less than 3 or 4 years. So I do like them. Do I agree with everything they've ever said or done? No. But them as people, they give me the warm and fuzzies. So I am looking forward to doing this love reading today. If I see anything negative in it, I will say it though. 'Cause honesty is the best policy, right? Alrighty, y'all. So let's go ahead, pull up the cards here. Oh, what's this? What is this in the way of the cards? Oh, am I this way? This is the way I have to go? Damn, this camera. I'm just learning this camera. I gotta go backwards. Look at here, y'all. Look at here. Look at this. Look at this cup. This microphone right here. And love you, mean it. And hold on. Like how I say with the cards. Context. Then me and my logo up here for BeasTalksAndTarot. So shout out to you, Hicks Chick. Shout out to you. Thank you for my cup. She got this cup custom made for me and sent it to my P.O. box. And I am very, very thrilled for it. I'm very excited. Thank you so much. That was very kind of you. And thank you to all of you who have sent stuff to my P.O. box. I thought y'all were going to write me letters and stuff, but y'all are sending me things and I am appreciative of it. P.O. box on my website and in the description box below for anybody who's wondering. Thank you for that. I really do appreciate that. So shout out to you. Let me go ahead and get these cards shuffled up while I move this microphone, right chair. Yeah, we get to sing that song twice because we haven't had the microphone song in a million years. So absolutely we get to sing the song twice. Absolutely. All right. Everything here is going to be all alleged. Just my interpretation of it. That's all. So we're just getting that right on out the way. Also, as I'm shuffling, shout out to Sasha Marie too for giving such very kind and encouraging words to me when I really needed it. So thank you for that. And also shout out to Katie, because Katie came up with the words channelversary or with the word channelversary. So yes, this month of December is my 1 year channelversary. I created this channel. I started recording tarot content on this channel December 28th of 2019. So this is my 1 year channelversary, and for that I am offering 10% off on private readings. So all of that will be linked in the description box below. Everything can be done on my website. But let's look into Nick Snider and Dustin Dailey, and I went ahead and wrote some notes down here that I want to look into, some of the things that I feel like would be helpful, because again, we're not trying to be hateful on this channel, we're trying to be helpful. So I figured I would look into, are they a good couple? What's the future of the relationship? Is there any advice or insights that their spirit guides or my spirit guides would like to tell them? Either of them, both of them together, whatever, So we're going to look into that. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so let's start with that. By the way, those shout outs are perks of the Perk Squad. So if you want a shout out, then you can become a member of the Perk Squad with the join link or a link in the description box below. So, first of all, in terms of them being a couple, is this a good couple, a match made in heaven? Is this a okay but might struggle couple? Or is this a run for the hills kind of couple? What are we looking at here? Allegedly. Okay. I know this card's going to have a bit of a shine on it. It cannot be helped. Let me move these down so I can move that down. Hopefully once all these get up here, the shine will be gone. But if I need to amend any settings, I will. I dang sure will. Because this thing isn't gonna screw me up now. Not after I sat there and went through all I did with this camera scenario. This crap better play pretty, is what I'm saying. Is that better or is that better? Honestly, kind of 6 in one, half a dozen in the other. What do y'all think? Anybody else say that? For kind of half and half? So that's the one problem, is when you upgrade for this one camera up here and it starts looking real good compared to what you had in the past. Now the camera there that used to be on my face isn't looking so good, and I'm like, crap, I can't upgrade both. Okay, damn it. I can only do one at a time. Hell. So what we have here in terms of them being a strong couple or not, I'll be honest with what I'm seeing from the start. And this is just, again, this is just what I'm seeing in the cards, and it's just my interpretation of what I'm reading here. But when I'm looking at this, before I even pull some context on it, this card right here is someone was having some, what do we call it? Like straying types of thoughts. Because this is talking about three's a crowd in a relationship. So from this, especially when we get this here, the Two of Cups is about a breakup. So I will say, in terms of how the guides are laying this out, they are saying that a certain relationship broke up because there was something, and not, okay, I'm going to put it this way. Emotional influences, third-party emotional influences, assisted in being one of probably several reasons why a couple broke up. And to my knowledge, I don't know that Nick was in a relationship before this one. To my knowledge, and I could be wrong, I think that Dustin was in a relationship prior to this one. So, again, we don't do shame, blame, or guilt on this channel, or judgment on this channel, because I don't feel like there's any space for that. And I mean, like, seriously, across the board, if y'all have watched my videos, it's not that I'm just blowing smoke up their asses because I like them. It's because that's how I treat everybody that I read on this channel, and I don't, that's just how we do. If y'all are OGs here, you know that already. I don't have to explain it to you. But I gotta say here, it looks like, whatever Dustin's previous relationship, dynamics were, or whatever their own particular relationship rules or how they kind of operated, whatever that was, it does look like emotionally stuff started to develop with Nick during that relationship, and this is that three's a crowd kind of a scenario, and it seems like it was a part of the reason of the breakup or breakdown or whatever you want to say of the previous relationship. There was an influence here. That doesn't mean that it was the only reason that Dustin's previous relationship would have broken up, but it does seem like it is a heavy influence here. Again, whether was intentional or unintentional, that just happens. But I do see here with this Ace of Pentacles is like starting something new, and a gift of something new. However, I'm going to say I get this Four of Swords up right here. And so what that means, and I'm just saying straight out with what I see, because I like to be honest here. What that means is there's still more healing and reflection to do. So, we can think of things, I know it's a kind of an overplayed cliche, but we can think about things as an onion, and an onion has a lot of layers. And we might deal with, certain things and pull one layer off the onion, but there's still more layers. So we deal with something else and we pull another layer off of the onion, and then we have to deal with something else. And so I think that there's more layers of the onion to pull off here. Whether that means that there are things that Dustin and Nick will need to work on within themselves, each of them internally, to kind of make sure they're moving through those layers of the onion appropriately. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those things that it's like we can't necessarily go from one thing to the next and not have any adjustment periods. We may have an adjustment period, and then it may seem like, oh, that passed, it's gone, everything's cool now. But then later, something will hit, and people may or may not even realize that what hits later is another layer of this onion they thought they were done with. They may not even put that two and two together. They may just see it as, oh, this is just something that I'm dealing with in this current relationship, and they may not even notice that it's kind of tied to some lingering things from the past, But I see more layers of the onion coming in the future to deal with. So just throwing that out there, trying to be helpful here. So let's pull some more cards, get some context about, the stability of this couple, whether or not this is a good couple. I just flipped over this card without meaning to, and it about fell. So let me upright or reverse it. Let's see. Upright or reverse. Okay. Upright. All right. This is my messenger card. I always get this card from my guides when they're about to lay down a message here. So I'm like, okay, we're going to lay it down. Well, what are we going to say? I'm going to lay down a message here. And I will also say here that I know Dustin is a Scorpio, because I remember him mentioning that before. I don't know what Nick's zodiac sign is. So once again, and pretty much as usual for how I do with the cards, I'm going to go off of my intuition, what I feel, what I think, what I sense, and what I'm getting from the guides there. Okay. This is interesting. I want some context. Of course, y'all are like, I can't believe she hadn't gone there yet. Yeah, I want some context. I want some context on 1, 2, 3. These 3 cards in particular. Maybe that one too. So let me get some context on this one here. Okay. This one here. This one here. Okay. And this one here. Interesting. Okay. So, a couple of things. Let me get all situated up in this chair. I'm glad you can't see that I have leggings on with this sweater. And by leggings, I mean like workout leggings that don't at all go with this sweater. Don't tell me you ain't ever got half dressed up for a Zoom call and not all the way. Don't tell me you hadn't, because you's a lie. Okay. So, with this, I'm getting the Chariot card in reverse, and then the 7 of Wands on top of it. Then we get the Devil card in reverse, and the Sun card on top of it. So what we're looking at here is that in some ways, this is a relationship that maybe at the beginning, one or both of them was unsure about doing it because there was something that they were thinking about, that whether it was like, oh, this may not look good, or oh, this may not be a good time, or like, oh, will this work out, or oh, will this backfire? There was some kind of like, you know, those types of thoughts that go through one or both of their minds, not sure, but then it's like, fuck it, let's try, let's do something here, you know, let's start something. And so this is kind of pushing forward, moving forward. Now, what I like to see about this, I'm going to be honest about this one looks good, this down here, So what I'm seeing here with the Devil card in reverse, Nick Snider has been very open for a long time about his history with substance use and about his sobriety. And the Devil card sometimes, the Devil card comes up a lot when we're talking about addictions and things like that. So if he gets the Devil card in a lot of readings or things like that, I don't know how many readings he's had, but I think that he has had exposure to tarot before. That would be why, because this comes up when we have that particular monkey on our backs. Because people kind of battle with addiction types of issues on a day-to-day basis, you know, even when they're in remission, it's still something that people have to work on, because it's medical, it's real. In fact, I want to say my very first tarot reading, I think, was being risky by doing a video on his sobriety when he asked people not to do a video on his sobriety, but I was doing it in defense of him, so I was hoping it was okay. I don't know if it's still, if that's still a public video or not, but it's probably really cringy to watch, so I encourage you not to, which means everyone probably will. But anyway, with that being in reverse, that's a good sign. Because that means when I see the Sun card on top of it, that means that his relationship with Dustin can assist in his sobriety. So to me, that looks like either Dustin really understands addiction issues. You know what? Not either or. That's what it means. Sorry, like sometimes I'll get like a yes in my, like, from my guides. I don't know how to say it, in my spirit, in my whatever. It's not like I literally hear a voice, but I got a really resounding yes. So apparently Dustin knows a lot about addiction. I don't know that he's ever struggled with it himself. I don't know that he's ever mentioned that, but I'm getting that he knows a lot about it. And so it's like he can understand things. He can be sensitive to it. He can, I don't know, just be a real support there, to make it easier to to stay away from that type of lifestyle or temptation or, etc., whatever. So I see that as being a good thing. It's like Dustin is a protective factor in some sort of a way for Nick, by virtue of their relationship. And the good thing with this is I don't necessarily think that that's exclusive to romantic relationship. I think just by virtue of them being close, like in terms of friendship, he is providing that support, that buffer. So that's really cool there. Here with the 10 of Swords upright, Queen of Swords, this concerns me. I'm going to pull a couple more cards to see what this is talking about, because okay, the 10 of Swords is like a backstab card, gonna be honest. It's just a card that you don't like to see here. But I'm not necessarily seeing, right now, I'm not necessarily seeing either Dustin or Nick stabbing each other in the back, per se. But I get this Queen of Swords here. Like there's it could be a woman because it is a Queen of Swords, but it could be a male with some sort of feminine energy about him. But I'm getting that Queen of Swords energy. So it's like there's a person here that could get in the way or could cause a problem or something to that effect, if that makes sense. I don't know if they would already know of who this person is, because I don't know if this is a person who's already had something to say or an opinion to share or whatever. I don't know. It could be someone they're already aware of. It could be someone that's gonna come up in the future. But I'm seeing something about some woman, kind of woman or man with feminine energy that could be troublesome in this. So that's something that I'm like, I don't know what I feel like about that. In terms of what I'm seeing here, it doesn't look like it should stop them from what they want to do in their relationship. Like I see them not necessarily letting that get between them per se, but it's a solid issue at some point. So whether that's something they're already aware of or if that's something that's coming up in the future, not so sure. But if we're looking over in this pile over here, literally, I think my puppy is, I think she drank water too fast and she's up checking it in the hallway. That's brilliant. Oh dear. I'll have to check on her in a little bit. I heard her drink way too much water before we started this, and I told her don't drink that much water, you're going to throw up. So I think that's exactly what's happening. So no worries, she will be fine. I will check on her, but Lord, that squirrel. Okay. Strength card. That's kind of right now, self-explanatory. We asked about the strength of the relationship. This is actually saying that there's a lot of strength to the relationship. And it could be because of developing such a strong and long-term friendship first. That could be a big factor of it. But when we get over here, I will put this here. The Hierophant card is upright, which is a good card in terms of commitment, for them being committed to each other. This is a good card for that. In fact, the Hierophant card can sometimes talk about commitments that are even stronger than just, hey, we're dating, like this sometimes can come up when we're talking, and I don't, not putting words in anybody's mouth, but it can sometimes talk about like marriage material type of relationship, something that is worth commitment to that degree. So that's a good thing. However, I will say we got the 5 of Wands there. So there will be arguing in this relationship. I don't know if there is already, in terms of the dynamic of the relationship. I think that it's probably fairly new. They might not have been like a steady romantic couple for a super long time. I don't know. But this is talking about there will be fighting, there will be conflict. So let me look into that a little bit more for them. Queen of Cups, Empress. Death card in reverse. Eight of Swords. Who are these people? Like, do y'all just asking if Dustin and Nick happen to have people that are either, I feel like they have people that are either, I guess, have some sort of a say in the relationship, or they are quick to share their opinions about the relationship, or even if they don't share their opinions, maybe they feel something and they're just not saying anything. Because I keep getting these cards, and it's that feminine energy again, whether it's, male or actual or an actual female, but I keep getting that in there. So there's something that might have some sort of conflict between them because they have to talk things out as it relates to this person. I don't know if it's like, hey, you need to get your family member in check because they're always having a say and I want them out of our relationship, or whether it's like, this friend doesn't really approve, so it makes me feel some type of way, or my family is really accepting but yours isn't, or like there's some sort of something like that, a dynamic like that, whether it's present now or whether it'll be present in the future, that I'm seeing here in the cards that they just might want to pull their attention to if they don't already have their attention on that. It seems like it's something that would affect Dustin more than Nick some sort of way, because I get that Death card in reverse. The Death card is a scorpionic energy. So there's something I feel like that kind of revolves a little bit more around Dustin as it relates to this. Not sure why, but this is kind of like being in a bit of a sticky position or feeling a little bit stuck or something like that. I don't know. Let me see. Changes. As it relates to changes because of anxieties, fears, and worries because of moving away. Okay, so I'm just saying this. Is it possible, one, and I'm sorry that I don't know. Y'all know I've been kind of MIA for the last 2 weeks. I had pre-filmed videos that I released, but I haven't been really plugged in to social media in the way that I usually would be for the last 2 weeks. But this is a card that's kind of talking about putting distance between, or walking away, or moving away, or things like that. This is about fears and anxieties. This is about big change. It seems like there would be somebody that's coming, at least one person, maybe more, coming up as feminine energy, could be actual females, could be males with feminine energy, that are not so keen about this change, because it's like Dustin would be changing maybe more than what they would be comfortable with for him to be in this relationship, if that makes sense. So I don't know, say, I know that Nick lives in Florida currently, and I know Dustin's a North Carolina guy because I'm a South Carolina girl, so I'm always like, ooh, neighbors. And then COVID hit, and I'm like, well, I guess I'll never meet him, shit. But we were neighbors for a time. If he were to decide to uproot and move to Florida to be with Nick or something like that, I see that maybe there'd be some people that would feel some kind of way about that. And it could just be as simple as, we love you, your family, don't leave us, or something like that. I don't know. And I don't even know if these people are necessarily voicing those things. It could be people that feel these things, but they don't really want to say it because they don't want to hurt feelings or something. I don't know. But I do see that in here. So I'm just calling it to focus, just to be mindful of it in case that's helpful in terms of, looking into the relationship and working on things. And in case that's helpful, I just wanted to put that out there. So I do see that there. Let's see. In terms of giving advice, spiritual advice for each of them, let's look into that. Let me pull these up and reshuffle the deck here. So for anybody that wanted actual relationship readings, this is kind of how it goes. So like if you're like, ooh, this would actually be really helpful for me in my relationship, then again, look in the description box below, BeasTalksAndTarot.com, schedule yourself a private session, boom, anywhere in the world, and we'll do it. But okay, spiritual advice. So this up here will be spiritual advice for from Nick's guides to Nick about the relationship, from Dustin's guides to Dustin about their relationship. Okay, Nick up here, Dustin down here. So spirit guides. Man, this ear is burning. I wonder if it's pink. Yep. This ear is burning. This is my left ear, left being the feminine side of your body. So the feminine side of your body is in terms of, we're talking about spiritual signs and stuff, because your right brain controls your feminine side, and your brain works, crossed like this, where, okay, whatever, you get what I'm saying. I'm not a science teacher, I ain't gonna give you all this, but so this is the feminine ear, representing sentimentality, the maternal types of feelings, lovey-dovey stuff, like what we're reading here today. So my lovey-dovey ear is on fire as we're looking into all this. So Lord. So that also, I will go ahead and say, could mean a bit of an imbalance in their relationship with love stuff. So it could be when people are so wrapped up into the love of it all that they kind of forget to stay grounded in some of the you know how they say the devil's in the details or whatever. It could be an element of that too, that if there's any room for improvement, for balance in the relationship, that might be calling to focus that as well. Just throwing it out there. So let's see, up here Nick, down here Dustin. Spiritual advice from Nick's guides to Nick about this relationship. We're gonna get 3. Interesting. Okay. Spiritual advice. It's interesting that he got 2 swords here. Spiritual advice to Dustin from his guides about the relationship. Okay, so, and with the spiritual advice, this may be something that they don't necessarily quote unquote need right now. It may be something that later on down the line, it's like, okay, now that's kind of coming into play. Now that's becoming relevant. So it could be something that, you put in your back pocket and you hold on to it for the future. If it's not necessarily something that resonates now. Why am I being so OCD about this? Like, chill, God bless it. Fuck me raw. Okay, so for Nick up here, this is a lot of sword stuff. So this is talking about conquering thoughts and mental clarity. And down here, we're getting a mix of things for Dustin, but it's mostly looking like it's kind of about groundedness, and, well, I won't say groundedness, earthly things and emotional things. So it's interesting that they each have a different set to work off of. Nick's spiritual guidance would be revolving around the thoughts. So what I'm seeing here is they're saying that there's an opportunity here to move on to more stable waters, less rocky waters. But the thing is, someone who we'll put it this way, and again, there's no judgment in this, but someone who has possibly had a quote-unquote, what people sometimes layman's terms will call an addictive personality or something. Sometimes they really like having high highs, and then it crashes down to the low lows, and they deal with the low lows because the highs feel so good. And I'm sure a lot of us can relate. I've had some past relationships like that as well. And it's like, you think if you don't have that, then things are boring and things are bad. So it's saying that in the future, if you start to have any kind of feelings of that maybe things are too boring, or maybe things are too stable, or maybe things are too, whatever. If gets a sense like that, consider where that's coming from, and consider, some people might think, oh, that's a sign we're not meant to be together, versus some people might, you know what I'm saying? Like you start having these thoughts where you're like, is that a sign that we're not meant to be together? Or should I start something just to have some fire up in here? Like that kind of stuff. It's just like, be wary of that if that's, if that comes across in the future. And especially if you happen to have a pattern in the past of that. And I don't know if he has or not, I don't know these people like that, okay? I like them and they've been kind to me, but we don't know each other, so I don't know. But that's this card here. It's kind of like, manage your thoughts on this. Don't let yourself in the future kind of get away with yourself with those things. With the Queen of Wands here in reverse, it's interesting because this actually can be talking about like confidence issues, which is weird because I wouldn't strike Nick as having confidence issues, and he probably doesn't, I don't know. But this comes up, and so it's almost like there could be something in the future where he feels unconfident about something, whether it's relating to himself or relating to his career or relating to some sort of relationship dynamic with Dustin or with somebody else or something. There could be something that gets a bit shaken in the future, and to not necessarily let that get to the better of him, not necessarily let that influence the relationship in a negative way, if that makes sense. And also, this can warn about being overconfident. So if there's ever a time that Nick might ever start having thoughts about, I belong in a different relationship, or I'm used to something of a higher caliber some kind of way, I don't know. But if those kinds of thoughts ever were to come into his mind, it's also can be a bit of a check yourself type of card. So just kind of keeping a balance between level of confidence and not letting it drop too low or go too high kind of thing. Queen of Swords here. I'm just going to cut to the chase with this, and I mean this in the least offensive way possible, but this is like, don't be a bitch. And by that, it's like, literally, this person, sometimes, the Queen of Swords here, sometimes she can be so into, what she knows and how she feels, and she's just like, I know this, I feel this way, this is how it is. So much so, and even into her mind so much so, that sometimes she can be a little bit cold, a little bit icy up in here. So it's kind of like, if you notice yourself getting icy for whatever reason, Nick, just let this come to your mind at that point in time. Is this something that is good to, like, why are you being icy? Are you being icy because your needs are not getting met? Are you being icy because you feel some type of way about something, and it's better maybe to bring it up and talk about it and come from a place of wanting to understand and being compassionate, rather than just being boom straight in there with that sword and just, like, is there a need to kind of like warm up and melt a little bit, that kind of a thing. So again, these things may not be issues happening now. A lot of times in relationships at the beginning, how people say, oh, there's a honeymoon phase or whatever that can last up to a year or whatnot, and that after that, then things start to kind of bubble up, and we work through stuff as we move forward in relationships. And so it might not be that these are things now. It might be that these are things a little bit further down the road, and that's okay. I'm just asked the guides what could be helpful here. So if we're going to move down here and go to Dustin, this one down here has to do with stability. There's something here that's saying that Dustin feels like he needs stability. like whether it's I need financial security, or I need things to be consistent, or I need things to be stable enough so that I, like, I'll be honest with this card, and I don't know these people well enough to say, but sometimes this card is you don't automatically have my trust until you lose it. You have to prove over and over and over consistently why you deserve my trust, and if you ever ruin it, that's it, kind of a thing. And so there's something here about like needing that type of stability. So we're talking financial stability, we're talking trust, we're talking all of those kind of things where it's like I need stuff to have that consistency and to feel rooted and feel like I'm provided for and taken care of and all of this stuff. And I'm not saying he can't provide for himself and take care of himself, but there's something about him here that it's like it's nice to have that kind of vibe some type of way. The Hangman come in here, and this is the upright position. This is kind of talking about, how do I put this for Dustin? How do I put this? There may be times where you need to put yourself in a timeout. So what I mean by that is it's like there may be times where if you act or speak on what you want to do or say, you could ruin some shit. And you might need to give yourself a little bit of a timeout. And so that you can think about it for a little while and not go full on. That could be because of any number of emotional impulses or things like that could come up in the time of a relationship. This also means don't sit on things for too long. So there might be some things where in your mind, without meaning to, you're like, oh, okay, that's noted. I just filed that away. And it's almost like you would collect data and file it away and collect data and file it away. And like a year later be like, well, this. And it's like, hold on. You saved that up. Like, why am I just, and again, I don't know these people. I don't know if you're prone to doing these kinds of things. I don't know if that would be unusual for you or if that's something that you are familiar with from your past or something like that. But just saying to kind of have a balance there. Keep a balance there. Be mindful, be watchful, keep a balance. And similarly here with this star card upright, this is saying that this could be the start of some pretty cool beginnings for you. Some kind of a way, this would be like a chapter 2 for Dustin. So I don't know I don't know why he would get the star card and not Nick. It seems like Dustin is more likely to get new experiences out of this some type of way than Nick is. And not to say that Nick can't get anything new from Dustin, but it's like there's more newness that can come to Dustin from this. I don't know how to explain that, but in a good way. But again, this has to do sometimes with our emotions. And so it's kind of like keeping a handle on your emotions, knowing what's bubbling up that is, say, just an insecurity versus what's coming up because it's actually something that, we need to deal with or whatever, and kind of being able to manage that, and not be too knee-jerk about something in terms of how we perceive it. I hope that's making sense here. So those are the kinds of things that I'm seeing here in terms of spiritual advice from y'all's guides. That's kind of what I'm looking at here. And if we're gonna do as quick as I can, we'll see. We know I'm not brief, but we've been going for 44 minutes now, so damn. But as quick as I can, if I can see any kind of information about the future of the relationship here. We've already kind of touched on on that in the first bit, but if there's just anything extra, you know, about the future of the relationship here that guides would like us to know, that would be useful here. Damn. Well, damn. Well, damn again. I guess I'm gonna just keep sitting here being like, well, damn, well, damn, well, damn. Let me pull all these down again, shit. Alright, y'all. There's a lot of context up in this video. I hope this is helpful, y'all. So, King of Pentacles, upright, all about abundance here. This is good. This is like, I mean, we have King of Pentacles and Nine of Pentacles right back to back. It's like, this is a power couple in terms of earning money. So, in terms of them being together, they can earn more together than separately. Now, they obviously can do things separately and earn a lot of money, but it's kind of like if we have a his, mine, and theirs kind of an approach to it, that's like that's the money. That's the money thing here. Like, I white girl can't even right now over that. High Priestess card, upright, very good sign, in that this is like being able to kind of stay in tune with one another. So it doesn't look like they would be the type to be able to have secrets from one another really well. I think the other one would be able to sniff it out pretty fast, whereas, you know, there's some relationships we have where we can hold things in and people don't really know. I don't know if that's a level of attunement we have with each other or whatever, in those kinds of relationships, but it seems like here, don't bother trying to get past one another with something. Just go ahead and put it on the table kind of thing in your non-knee-jerk type of way. Gotta throw that out there. This is talking about the potential for things being very loving. I like that. Sun card is the most positive card in the deck, so this has very good opportunity here. The Ace of Swords, I will say, is saying, you know how, okay, the adage, there's a double-edged sword. You got this side, but you also have this side. So they're saying here, lots of great opportunity in the future of this relationship. A lot. But it's a double-edged sword. So it's like, here, let me put it this way. Like, for example, me with this. Me being this, like having a certain level of perception or seeing or knowing or sensing or whatever you want to call it, that type of sensitivity, it works to my advantage a lot, and it also fucks me hard in an unenjoyable way sometimes, because it's like, you know, sometimes it's hard to turn that off. Sometimes people can use that against me, weaponize it against me. Sometimes I, you know, have a hard time putting up a boundary and not feeling when I, you know, need to stay more resolute or stuff like that. So it's kind of a blessing and a curse, you know, that kind of a thing. That's what this is saying, that there's going to be aspects of this relationship that can feel like a blessing and a curse. And to be mindful of that, and if the quicker you can identify those types of things and figure out how you want to handle that, the better. Just putting that out there. But let's get a little bit more context and then I'll end it, because I know I've been going forever. Okay. Y'all, I'm being honest again. This is a great collaboration, great partnership, great working relationship. Something here though, and this card often comes up as a family card. I'm telling you, there's something that's weird here as it relates to family, and it could be literal family, or it could be people that feel like family that are not literally family, or there's something here that is like from either family or from quote unquote the past, which, since we're talking about the future right now, the past could mean currently, so it could be something happening currently, that it's like some kind of an unwillingness to let go or unwillingness to move on by somebody that could affect this relationship. I don't know. There's something weird about that, and we've talked about it, I think, in a couple of cards in the first pool, but I keep seeing that come up again. So that is something that could be a thorn in the side that might need to get addressed if it hasn't been already. I don't know. There's something about that, and again, it could be something that they may not know about now. It could be something that comes up later. But the Lover's card upright, honestly, this is the card that you want to see. If you're wanting to talk about a good relationship, you want to see that card and this card. These are our two power cards here. Honestly, this is power cards. Now, could they still break up? Yeah. Because just because the potential is there doesn't mean that they would take that potential, take that opportunity and run with it. They have the potential, because you saw all the spiritual advice that came for them, they have the potential to take that spiritual advice and work with it and make this out of it, and they have the potential to ruin themselves. I'm sure all of us have had some time where we're like, damn, we could have really made something of that, but we threw it away. Regardless, we've all had moments in life like that. So there's an opportunity here, a big one, a good one. I'm telling you, my left ear is burning up again as I'm saying that. It's really, really positive with this, as long as you don't get in your own ways when things start to come up. When you start to get this double edge over here. So I hope that this is all kind of made sense. I hope that they are able to see this video and see that I tried to handle it with care, and that I tried to be as helpful as I possibly could be with this. So big hugs to y'all. Much luck and much love to y'all on this. Again, it's all alleged and all my interpretation. Okay, so we're just putting that out there. Let me just, out of curiosity, I know. Yeah, something about an exchange, knight in shining armor, fighting for something, been through some shit, not wanting certain things to go forward, being a little bit too controlling about it, kind of not wanting things to get up on the path the way it should be, thinking about things out of a lack mentality rather out of a good mentality, maybe even some shitty words from whoever this person is to either Dustin, Nick, or the two of them. Could be some shady text messages or some shady words or something that somebody says about their stuff. Yeah, it's just someone that just kind of can't let go. They don't want to, I don't know who this is. I wonder if they already know who this/these people with the feminine energy might be referring to. I wonder if they already know. But if they don't already know, heads up. It might be coming your way in the future. Just throwing it out there. So, anywho, anybody want a reading like this? Again, if you want a private reading, my website is linked in the description box below, www.BeasTalksAndTarot.com. That is also where you can look into getting some merch if you would like some merch. And again, if you want shout outs like those that had the shout outs earlier, or exclusive videos, content, things of that nature, you can join the Perk Squad by the join button below or by the link that's in the description. And if you are scheduling a reading, again, December is the month of my channelversary, so 10% off all services and 10% off all gift cards if you're wanting to get someone a gift card as a holiday present or something like that. So 10% off of those as well. So it's code anniversary in all caps if you're doing a service, and it's code anniversary GC in all caps if you are doing a gift certificate. And if you buy someone a gift certificate, I believe it doesn't expire for half a year, so they can hold on to it for a while before they schedule something. It's okay if they don't want to schedule right now or right away. So anywho, tell me what you think. Give me what you got on this. Be kind in the comments. And it's been almost an hour of blabbing. Hopefully this was helpful. And don't be a stranger. Come back and see me. And I will talk at you later. Love you, mean it. Love you, mean it. Bye, y'all.